Mighty Morphin Power Rangers The Return. Okay, let's talk about this comic using my space system. Story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 and 2. So 2 is the best you can get in any category. If I give this comic book a 10 out of 10, I'm not saying it's equal to Watchmen or better than The Dark Knight Returns or equal to The Dark Knight Returns or equal or better than Giant Size X-Men #1. That's not how it goes. I'm comparing this comic to your expectations that you get. So if it meets your expectations and it was okay, it's like a 5, 6, 7 out of 10. If it beats your expectations, that's 8, 9, 10 out of 10, right? So that's kind of how it works. So couple of asterisk points. I did meet Amy Jo Johnson at my comic shop and Matt I don't know how to spell it, Matt Hudson. So I met them at my comic shop last night. It was great meeting Amy Jo. She's super cool. I got a picture with her and all that. That's on my Instagram and Twitter. Obviously, full disclosure, I've met I met the writer, and I'm a Power Rangers fan. In the corner here, you can sometimes see some of my Power Rangers stuff. I own every Power Rangers season on DVD, except for the last 3, which they're not releasing. Like they didn't release Beast Morphers. Starting with Beast Morphers, they haven't released any on DVD, so that's kind of irritating. But asterisk point number 2, I've never read any Power Ranger comic ever at all. I like the show. To me, it was a live action property. It needs to have the Super Sentai kind of mixture. Though I did not mind that movie from 2017, actually. It could have been better, but I didn't think it was that bad. I thought, well, maybe they could, do something with this. So my expectations are nothing because I don't have any expectations. I've never read any comic. We're going to look at it through the digital. Obviously, I'm not going to use my signed copy for display purposes for the video. We're going to look at it off the iPad. But yeah, so I got to say, this kind of blew me away. I thought it was pretty awesome. So let's break it down. So this is written by Amy Jo Johnson and Matt Hudson, illustrated by Nico Leon. It's from Boom. So I'm going to give the storyline a 2 out of 2. I don't know. I thought it was so good. So I don't know if all of the Power Ranger comics are like in the same world or not. I think this is on its own. So again, this is where my lack of knowledge on comics comes from here. I'm not going to be able to really give you a great, perspective on how this fits in. I think this is just like its own world. So there was the Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that the original ones that were on TV. I guess so. So they defeated Rita and Lord Zed. It says that right here. They defeated him, and then that was that. I'm assuming that there's going to be spoilers. Spoilers are in effect. Sorry, I want to say that. So I'm assuming Tommy perished in that battle. It's not said for sure, but like I think that's what's going on because you see his tombstone and Kimberly is at the tombstone. Jason David Frank, I did get a chance to meet him. Pictures right there. He was awesome. Love Green Ranger. Love White Ranger. I love him in all of the Ranger different outfits that he had, characters. So then we go back to now it's in the future, right? So 20 years or something, whatever it happens to be, and the command center is now attacked by this shadowy figure. Now Jason is there. He looks pretty amazing. They got to do a figure of this. This is bloody awesome. So Jason as their Red Rangers there fighting this person. I'll try to zoom in here. I don't know who this is. I literally have like no clue at all. I've never read any. Is this someone I'm supposed to know? Let me know in the comments. Do I know this person? Am I supposed to know this person? I don't think we're supposed to know. I think this is a new villain. So you can see Jason here is a bit older. He's scarred. So somehow this villain is able to take the power coin from the Morpher. So I don't know if is it supposed to be like Tommy or something, or is it just like a new person? So the person's got they get this shadow person has the coin. All right, and then we're back at Angel Grove. There's Billy. Great art here. I'll get to the art. Talking about Trini and how she was like this great ambassador, and she was the mayor, longest running mayor of Angel Grove. We get to see Bulk and Skull here and Ernie kind of like just hanging out here, which is kind of fun. That's cool. Billy introduces Zach. Now Zach, they're like, hey, they're screaming his name. It's like, oh, Black Ranger. Like, oh, okay, I guess they revealed themselves. Well, it turns out that only Zach revealed his identity, and everyone else kind of kind of kept quiet, and Zach just said, well, the other Rangers were from different countries, so we all kind of came together. Which, I mean, that's a good, good way to do it. Kimberly here is kind of like, not involved. And then we have some memories of her and Trini working out, which is done really nicely. It looks like the old show. I want to point this out too. I'm zooming this in for you. Check this out. They even removed the middle finger, which, if you know, Zach was missing that finger. So wow, the details of that are crazy. But anyways, so they're just showing some flashbacks here, and then Kimberly goes to Tommy's grave. So they have a dinner and they're talking about their lives. So the story here is really good. Now, it's written by Amy Jo and Matt, and I'm like so pumped up for what's going on here. This should have been like the movie, because they're older, and what's happened is that like Jason has just not been able to let go of being the Red Ranger. So he's out there. They're supposed to not morph. That was their agreement, but he's been morphing, and he's even saying like, look, I want to be the Red Ranger all the time. I don't even want to morph back. That's an awesome idea. Zach using his fame as a Black Ranger to help charities and do stuff. That's a super cool Zach thing to do. He has like, he has like parties and stuff all for charity, raised a couple $1,000,000. Billy, big tech guy now, right? Billy is literally taking the coin, and he's like, well, we can teleport, right? With the grid. We're using the Morphin grid and we can teleport. So why can't I somehow extract this technology, bring it to the world so that we can teleport? Can you imagine? You could teleport people. Like you can, he's even trying to get it so where he could transport diseases out of the body. That's awesome. Kimberly, and this is written by Amy Jo Johnson. Kimberly is the one who's kind of like, well, I don't know. And you would have thought that a writer would have put themselves as the Ranger who hasn't given up and wants to keep on fighting. And I would have thought the Pink Ranger would have been doing the Jason thing, but no. She literally made herself the one who's like, well, I just kind of want to go off on my own. That's awesome. I actually think that's like super awesome. I was really like impressed that that Amy actually wanted to do that. I think she actually, like, she really does care about these characters and wants to do something cool, because every character has great stuff in here. So yeah, that kind of covers the character section as well. Sorry, I went on a little bit with the story, but I was so excited by this that I just had to talk about it. And I got to show you Jason as this like vigilante superhero guy. Hold on, I'm gonna try to zoom in. Let me do it this way. Oh, it's a splash page, so it's like all weird. Look how badass this is. Hell yeah, man. That is super badass. So for the pacing, this is weird. I'm going to give you know what? I'm going to give the pacing 1.5 out of 2. And that's not to say that, look, 1 is good. So 0 is bad, 1 is good, 2 is amazing. I wasn't bored in this comic. It flowed nicely. However, I'm reviewing this based on expectation level. It's Power Rangers. I wanted to see some kung fu fights. I wanted to see some monsters, and every episode had putties, and then whatever the thing was for that season, right? It could be the robots or something. They fight a bunch of things, then they fight a monster. That is your standard thing. I know this is going for a little bit more depth now. They're not, I see that Amy and Matt are going for a little bit more, story driven, character driven. Not so much, let's just have mindless action. However, my expectation level is that there is going to be some fighting, and there is a very small amount in the very beginning. I wanted a little bit more. So I can't give it full 2 marks, but I'm giving it 1.5 because this is crazy, because despite not having that much action, I still really enjoyed the pacing anyways. So that's really good. For art, I'm going to give the art a 2. I recognized everybody right away, and there's some sick pages here with, like, as I showed you with Jason and all that. It's panely, but it's done in kind of a neat way. There's more angles to it. Everything looks good. Like, nice diner here. You go into the grave, even that's nice. I'm giving it 2 out of 2. I think it really fits. Again, I'm not saying this is better than Jack Kirby art. I'm not saying that's it. Neil Adams is done. This is it. Look, it fits for this comic and what they're trying to do. So yeah, 2 out of 2 for art. Speaking of art, I do want to mention my channel sponsor who make these amazing shirts. This is a print all over shirt. It's beardedshirts.com. And they got a lot of great Legion stuff, DC stuff, Marvel, all that kind of great stuff. They've got sales on all the time. If you become a Legionnaire, if you become a channel member, you are entered into a draw to win something from Bearded Shirts. We do one every month. So there you go. Okay, so the link is in the description below. Characters, I already talked about the characters, so I'm not going to go over that. They're all awesome. 2 out of 2. Love the characters in this. Super awesome. Good job on realizing these characters, making them feel more real than they were. They actually feel more real in this comic than they probably did in the show. All right. So great job on that. And enjoyment factor, I mean, I guess I'll give it, like, I want to give it a 2 out of 2. I just wish there was a bit more action. That's my only gripe, and I'm torn between just saying, you know what, I'm giving it a 2 out of 2. I'll give this a 9.5. Yeah, I'll give it a 2 out of 2. I'll give this a 9.5 out of 10. I'm going to give it a 9.5. I really like this. I read this, so I came home last night after meeting Amy and Matt, and I had to do a stream, so I was streaming last night. And then I read this right before going to bed, and I was so excited about it that I thought, oh, I got to wake up real early and get this review out. I almost did the review right there, but I wanted to let it simmer a little bit. Great job. This is my first ever Power Rangers comic, and if they were all as good as this, then I've been definitely missing out. Please let me know if I've been missing out on stuff. There was supposed to be there's a prelude to this. Didn't know about it, so didn't get it. Where is that prelude? It's some anniversary edition? Is that still something you can still buy, or is that sold out? I'll see if I can hunt that down. But so congratulations to Amy Jo Johnson and to Matt. So congratulations, Amy Jo and Matt. You guys are awesome. This is a great story here. So looking forward to completing this 4 parts. Yeah, awesome. If you like my space review system, please like the video and share it also, and subscribe if you want more stuff like this. We're streaming all the time. Tomorrow night, we're doing Frank Miller's Daredevil run. Come on, it's Frank Miller, it's Daredevil. You know it's a 10 out of 10. You got to check that out. So every Monday is Legion of Superheroes Talk, so don't miss that either. That is it, everybody. Until next time.